Welcome one more time. Sit in a comfortably cross-legged position. Close your eyes. Bring your hands in prayer position in front of your heart. Set an intention for the practice for the day. Let's begin the session with one long Om. Inhaling for Om. Om. Gently start rubbing your hands to create some warmth in your hands and keep it on your closed eyes. The warmth of your hand dilates the blood vessels, increasing the blood flow. Releasing the hands on your thigh, we are going to stretch our eye muscles. Without moving your head, look up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Closing your eyes, moistening the eyes. Open your eyes, looking to your right, left, right, left. Move as much right as possible, stretching the eye muscles to the maximum. Left, right, left. Closing your eyes. Open your eyes. Diagonal movements. You're going to look right up. Diagonally move your eyes to look left down. Diagonally move to right up. Left down. Right up. Left down. Right up. Left down. Right up. Down. Closing your eyes. In the next one, we are going to do the opposite. Open your eyes, left up, diagonally move to right down, diagonally move to left up, diagonal left down, diagonal up, down, up, down, up, down. Closing your eyes. Whenever you feel you have done, you should feel a bit of a stretch, not pain. You are going to rotate your eyes in your own speed. Open your eyes, rotating right up, left down, right down. Continue 3 to 4 times in your own speed. Gently close your eyes for a quick second and do the opposite 3 to 4 times. By this we need to do every day because we are using more electronics than normal. So stretching of the eye muscles improves our overall eye quality. Now rub your hands, create warmth and keep it on your eyelids. The increased warmth dilates the blood vessels, increasing the flow of blood to your eyes. Releasing your hands onto your thigh, we are going to rotate our neck by bringing our chin to the chest in your own speed, to the right, back, left. Continue in your own speed 3 to 5 times and do the opposite 3 to 5 times. Stretching, strengthening and relaxing the neck muscles which holds the crown of our body, the head in place. Reverse the direction. Once you finish one side, you can do it in your own speed. Once you're done, releasing your. We're going to stretch, bring our right ear to the right shoulder. Using your right hand, stretch the neck as shown. Use the other hand to stretch and touch the mat and stay there for 20 to 40 seconds. Reverse the opposite. Interlock the fingers to the back of your head. We are going to push the head forward, but we are going to resist with our throat, strengthening the back of our neck. Again, do this for 20 to 40 seconds. Now we are going to press the head to the back using your palm on your forehead, and we are going to resist this with the back of the neck. Again 20 to 40 seconds. Hold your breathe in your own comfortable motion. Breathe as long and deep as possible. Once done, releasing the hands. Beautiful. Now we are going to continue with our warm-up series. So we are going to do some Kapalabhati. We are going to do 3 type of pranayama. One is pranayama, and then we will do some Uddiyana Bandha. So we are going to do Kapalabhati. I don't know if you know what is Kapalabhati, you can look at the video. We are going to exhale quick as possible. Inhale with happens because of the pressure difference. Other than my diaphragm and my belly, you see that none of my body is moving. I have done separate videos on Kapalabhati Pranayama. You can always watch this. In this video, we are going to do 2 eyes Kapalabhati. First time, we are going to hold the breath after inhalation, and the second time, we are going to hold the breath after exhalation. Now, inhale, exhale. One more. Inhale, hold your breath, stop breathing. We are taking in good amount of air and we are retaining the breath, giving a chance to our lungs to absorb all the prana, oxygen. Stay there for as long as possible, 20, 30, 40 seconds. If you have to exhale, exhale with control. Now, if you are still holding the breath, exhale, inhale, exhale. Beautiful. Second round of Kapalabhati, the skull shining pranayama. You can always use your hands on your stomach, as I would show in this time. You try to keep breathing only using your belly, as in abdomen muscles and diaphragm. You can use the hand as I show if you have any problem to do this practice. Again, the speed depends upon your capability. You can always do 20, 30, slower, faster, depends upon your capability. There is no right or wrong. With the fast movement, we are cleansing our nostril, like by forcing our air through our nostril, we are cleansing our nostril. This is a Kriya. Remember, beautiful. Now we are going to exhale, inhale, exhale, hold breath, you are holding the breath with an exhalation. You can see that I have pulled my stomach muscles in. If you have a possibility, this is Uddiyana Bandha. We will do Uddiyana Bandha more later. Beautiful. With control, inhale, exhale. You can do 2 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds. Here I have shown one during inhalation and one during exhalation. So you can decide how much you wanted to go. Now we are going to do Uddiyana Bandha. I have also done a separate video on Uddiyana Bandha. I can give the description and you can try. So basically what we are planning to do, we are exhaling and we are pulling the stomach muscle in. As you can see, my entire internal organs are massaged because I make a pressure with my abdomen muscles. This works on the fourth layer of our abdomens. Very good. So we can try to do 5 to 7 times in your own time. Remember, after complete exhalation, you are doing a fake inhalation. Yeah. So remember this. Beautiful. You hold for as long as possible. The most important, you are also retaining your Mula Bandha, which is clenching your glute muscles. Okay. 1. Again, you decide how long you are holding the breath. Holding the breath is difficult. 2. I hope you have acquired, then you are able to do Uddiyana Bandha. Remember, you should be of empty stomach. A coffee or some water is fine, but not even if you have been not eating for 3-4 hours, I try to avoid. Or if you can go to washroom before, it is perfectly fine. So this Uddiyana Bandha, normally we do it early in the morning as soon as you wake up, so that you gain the maximum benefit. Again, you decide for 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. The more, this is like holding our internal organs. So this is what we do. We try to do as we do the yoga. So now we do Anuloma Viloma, alternate nostril breathing. Yeah, your right hand goes in Vishnu Mudra. You see how I'm showing. The left hand is in Chin Mudra, gently resting on your thigh. You are going to go for alternate nostril breathing, Anuloma Viloma. You are going to do it on your own. I might show only once and then I can take my eyes off. You see that my fingers can be a bit different. The point is to block your right nostril, inhaling left for a count of 4, 2, 3, 4. Block both nostrils. Stop breathing for a count of 16. Open right, exhale 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we continue in that direction. We do in the ratio of 1 inhalation, 4 retention and 2 exhalation. Okay. You decide on your own. If you can do 4, 16, 8, it is perfectly fine, or 3, 12, 6 is perfectly fine. You decide the numbers. The ratio is 1:4:2. Yeah. Now inhale left, 1, 2, 3, 4, holding your breath. Right, exhale 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, inhale 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. holding the breath. Left exhale 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can continue to do as many rounds as possible. If you like to do more, pause the video and do for pranayama. Otherwise, keep continue in this range. You can try to do your Mula Bandha. I'm just giving different ways of doing it. Holding the breath. You should not be dogmatic about the finger position. Just use your fingers to guide your breath inside and outside on both nostrils. Beautiful. So we always start on the left side, inhale, and we finish on the left side, exhale. I think I have also one video about Anuloma Viloma. So I will try to put that in description box also if you have a possibility to look at it. Then we are going to go for the wrist warm up. Make a fist, rotate your wrist 10 to clockwise, 10 to anti-clockwise. Fingers up, down, 5 to 10 times, up, down. We are going to stretch our forearm. Very good. You know that I'm doing a recording of my voice later, so you might see that my lip sync is not in line, but I wanted to bring what I can bring to the table. If one person gains some benefit out of this video, I feel the time that I spent in making this video has a very good effect. So please comment, subscribe, share. Now we are going to warm up our shoulders by bending the hands, keeping it on your as shown in the video. The opposite. Beautiful. Now we are going to start warming up our legs in no particular order. Gently move your hips side to side. Now we are going to continue with our stretch by bending our rotating your ankle clockwise, anti-clockwise, inversion, wide part of our feet meeting each other, eversion, the opposite, inversion, eversion, 5 to 7 times. Again, make the toes very far from each other, bend your leg, keep it on your right thigh, rotating your ankle clockwise 5 to 7 times, anti-clockwise. Now we are going to stretch the shin, pointing the toes, plantar flexion, dorsiflexion, stretching the Achilles tendon, calf muscles. Bring the same hand on top of the bent knee and push the knee towards the mat. For me, I'm a bit flexible, so my knee is almost touching the mat already. I'm correcting my other leg, correct anatomical position. If your knee is not touching the mat, it is perfectly fine. We are going to stay there for 5 to 7 breaths. Now we are going to bend that leg, hug that leg using the opposite hand and send the same side leg to the back, same side hand to the back, sorry. For Ardha Machendrasana twist, don't twist too much. You can feel the massage of your internal organs already. You have done the Uddiyana Bandha, so we are massaging the internal organs a bit more stronger now. Releasing the leg. Take that leg into the inner crease of the opposite hand and we are going to cradle the baby. This video is mostly for beginners because I did this video after 48 hours of fasting, so it was a bit slow, long and tranquil. Interlocking the fingers on the wide part of the feet, and try to straighten the leg. Remember, we are still in the warm-up stage. So if your leg is not getting straight, don't worry. Feel also the stretch of your shoulders, back muscles, deltoids, more than hamstring, triceps, forearms, and the wrist. All the muscles and tendons are getting a beautiful stretch. Bend that leg, open the other leg gently wide open, inhale, arms up. We call this Ardha Upavishta Konasana, fall forward, and then gently fall forward. For example, as you can see, I'm keeping my hands in Sphinx. You can walk the fingers away from you. Try to bring the forehead down. And we are going to stay there for 7, 6, 5, 4. Wherever you can bring the head down, it is perfectly fine. Don't hunch your spine. Try to keep the spine as straight and erect as possible. Once you have done, walk your fingers back and preparing for the other side. Gently release your hips. And then moving to the other side, bend your left leg, keep it on top of your right thigh, rotating your ankle clockwise, anti-clockwise. Remember, we are always doing it for 5 to 7 times, stretching the shin. "30 seconds, 40 seconds. You decide what is good for you, stretching the Achilles tendon and the calf muscles. You can stay a bit longer here. Beautiful. Keep the same side hand on your knee and push the knee towards the mat and use the other hand to the back as a support to open our hip flexors. Again, 20 to 50 seconds. Now bend your knee, hug yourself, send the other leg to the other hand to the back to give a very good twist. Here, try to keep the spine as straight as possible. Send the head first, hands next. Lift that leg, bring it to the inner crease of the opposite hand and hug yourself. If you cannot do this completely, you can hold the hand in such a way that it gives more comfort and keeps your spine as straight as possible. The point is to keep the spine as straight as possible. Beautiful. We are going to go for the hamstring stretch, back stretch, shoulder stretch. The hamstring of the leg gets a beautiful stretch here. Again, you can stay for as long as it is needed. Maybe one side you need a bit longer stretch than the other. Bend that leg. We are going to do Bandha Konasana. I made a mistake in my video, so I'm going to continue with that. Now we are going to do butterfly to open the hips a bit more. You will see that I have not done the half bend forward. Now we are going to open the book of your life. Again, still we are in warm up, so don't worry too much if you cannot go more deeper. Try to keep the back straight, spine straight, go in Sphinx hand, staying there for 1 long minute. Whenever you're in a pose like this, try to go into meditation. Try not to push yourself, don't go in pain. But be there to enjoy the asana. Now we are going to do the half Upavishna forward bend. Left open, keep the left leg to in, right leg is out. Remember, this is what we are going to continue for 30 to 50 seconds. Beautiful. Inhale, head up. Gently walk your hands back. Try to bring the legs together. You are going to go for all four, cat, camel. Beautiful. Your hip on top of your knee, your shoulders on top of your wrist. You're going to inhale cat, exhale camel. We also call this inhale cow, exhale camel. Very, very important to stretch our spine, your back muscles before we do anything very strong. Try to keep your Mula Bandha, which is just to clench your glutes. Lift the pelvic floor muscle in and keep the genitals in. You can do cat camel for 5 to 7 times. Now we are going to thread the needle, lifting the right hand up, bring it under your left hand. Try to keep the right shoulder as low as possible, palms facing down. We are going to lift the other hand and keep it straight. You can either stay here. If you have a possibility to go to the inner thigh of the opposite leg, please do so. We are going to stay there for 5 to 7 breaths. Feel the twist in your lumbar spine. You should not have any pain on your neck. If you have any pain on your neck, gently come out. Use the hand that is free to help you to push you up. Release the hands from the inner thigh, bring it next to your face. Use that hand and palm to push yourself to come up. Again, we were staying there for 5 to 7 breaths. Depending upon how much long you can breathe, you can stay more or longer. Gently coming out, and we are going to go for the opposite side. Gently move your hips and lower back in no particular order to release any strain from any of the body part. Now we are going to inhale. You can see that I'm really torsioning myself and I'm trying to bring my shoulders as much down as possible, palms facing down. The other hand goes up and stays, or it can comes into the inner thigh, giving me a good twist as shown. Stay there for 5 to 7 long breaths. Beautiful people. This is called thread the needle pose. We are getting a beautiful twist. Go as long and deep as possible. Release the hands from the inner thigh next to your face. Use that hand to lift your upper body up. Unwind yourself and release the hand down in no particular order. Move your hips back to relax any strain. Now send your right leg forward, and when you are going to go for a stretch of your left leg, your right leg is on top of a 90-degree. And we stay there for 5 to 7 long breaths. You can see where is the psoas. And we stay there for 7 long breaths. You can stay more. The most important point, your knee should not go out of your toes, the front leg. Now we are going to send the hands to both sides of your front leg. Push your hips back, straighten the front leg for half monkey split stretch. You can see I'm pointing my toes. You can also keep the toes completely flexed, and you're sending the upper body towards the bottom part of your knee. Again, 5 to 7 long breaths. You can see my back leg is 90-degree and I'm trying to keep my back as straight as possible. So before you drop your head, we need to stretch your lumbar back so that you can go deeper without making any curve. Here I can see that I made some curve, but try to avoid it. At this side is okay. This level flexibility is okay. Now we are going to push our hips forward. We are going to go for open the right leg to the outside edge of your mat. Bring both legs, hands inside. The right foot goes on to the outside edge. Release the center hand and push your knee away from you to open your hip muscle, and we stay there for 5 to 7 breaths, preparing ourselves for the lizard stretch. Here you have to remember we did a very nice sitting stretches before we went here. If you feel you have not warmed up, just before going into the pose, go for 1 or 2 sun salutations. The more sun salutation you do, more your body heats up. Now release the hand from the knee, bring it to the inside of your leg. You can stay on your palm or you can go on to your elbow for lizard stretch. Walk your back leg as much back as possible to find that sweet spot and stay in that sweet spot for 7 long breaths. Breathe. Breathe. Gently lifting your head, coming back into your palm, tuck the back toe, lift the knee up. You are going to correct the legs in such a way that we are in pyramid pose. The important contribution is hips are parallel to the short edge of the mat, front leg is perpendicular to the short, and back leg is adjusting. Also adjust the gap between your both legs. Pyramid pose. Engage the both legs. Try to keep both legs as straight as possible. Lift your patella, the kneecap to engage, and also squeeze your Mula Bandha. Again, 5 to 7 long breaths. One breath is equal to one inhalation and one exhalation, and anything that happens between these two. Sometimes we can hold the breath, in some poses we cannot hold the breath. Yeah, feel the stretch in the hamstring of the front leg and the calf muscle and other groups in the back leg. Now drop the back leg, send the leg back, move your hips in no particular order, and we are going to continue this on the opposite side. Remember to breathe as long and deep as possible. Remember, first one is low lunge stretch to work on the psoas of the back leg, ham, quads. Psoas is a muscle that is attached to our hips. If you keep sitting all day, this muscle is the one that shortens, which creates all the problems in our lower back. So by stretching, and you see there is no balancing, this is a beautiful short stretch. So anybody can do this from beginner to intermediate level. Try to keep the hips forward, Mula Bandha, front leg 90-degree. Now bring the hands to both sides of your front leg, push your hips back and send the upper body, chin to the down part of your knee. Again, staying there for 5 to 7 long breath. Great. Continue doing so. Push your hips forward. You are going to go for preparing for the lizard stretch. Bring your left leg to the outside edge of your mat. Let the make keep the open the left leg to the outside edge. Beautiful. You can see that my back leg, my ankle is completely stretching by bringing the back of my leg to the completely stretching, and we are going to drop the outside knee to the outside. Use the center hand to push your knee out. So from there you can see how I go into the pose. Staying there for 5 to 7 long breaths. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Beautiful. Bring the leg in, preparing ourselves for the lizard stretch. You can go onto your forearm. You see, I'm correcting my back leg in such a way that I'm getting a beautiful stretch on my hips. The intention is to keep the knee of the front leg behind your toes. Feel the stretch into your hips, legs, your mind. Beautiful people. Continue to stay at least these kind of stretches you can do for 1 minute, 2 minutes. This is when the yoga goes into the yin yoga stage. From the yang, keep moving to a yin pose. You can go into a meditative state. You can watch your breathe. You can watch your thoughts. Beautiful poses to work on ourselves. Now we are going to tug, preparing ourselves for pyramid pose. Your hips are parallel to the short edge. Front leg is perpendicular to the front edge. Correct your back leg in such a way and breathe. Beautiful people. Drop the back knee down. Send the front. Now we are going to go for bend the back leg. We are moving on from there. Try to balance yourself. Try to send the knee, open your chest. Try to open the shoulders. Try to point the elbow back. If you are not able to balance with the front leg, you can always do it. Try to grab the back leg with one leg. You decide what is good for you. From here, you are going to drop the back leg, send the opposite hand to front, and we are going to bend the back leg and go for twist and try to look back. Again, if this is not available, try to grab the back ankle. Try to, you can see that I'm also open my shoulders completely, my chest completely. Beautiful. Again, you stay there for 5 to 7 breaths. You can see that my front leg is in the outside edge of my foot. Again, this, if you cannot do the front with the one version before. Releasing this leg, releasing this leg back on the other side. First, front leg is 90 degree for the balance. Grab your back leg ankle. Try to open your chest. Try to keep your elbow straight. You can see where my stretch is going to happen. Keep the front leg for complete support. Release the opposite hand forward. Try to keep holding your ankle of the back leg open for twist. You see that my front leg is on my outside edge of my foot. And we stay there for 5 to 7 long breaths. Beautiful people. Release the back leg back. Send the leg back. Move your hips in no particular order. Cat camel, cow camel. Preparing ourselves for the next, which is pigeon pose. To open pigeon pose, we are going to open our hips. Lift the right leg. Rotate your right leg clockwise 3 to 7 times. Anti-clockwise. We call this greasing of our hips before we do a big stretch like pigeon stretch. You see that I'm walking my back leg to adjust my front leg. My back ankle is completely open and I'm trying to drop my head to the mat. If this is available, go here. Otherwise, go on to your Sphinx hand. You can use blocks under your face. If your hips are not you're opening too much, you can bring block onto the opposite hips. I'm trying to fix a timer in the video so that we can have at least a minute or something like that. If you are not watching the video, you are in the pose, go into meditation, watch your breath, how it goes in, how it goes out, who is breathing, who is doing this asana, is this my body doing, my mind doing? You can repeat the question, who am I? Even better, who am I now? Because who am I now defines who you are in the future. No amount of past can define your future, but who you are now completely defines your future. You can see that my back leg is tucked in. I think it's a mistake. You can also tuck out, but this helps me to keep my hips facing forward. So you decide what is good for you. Beautiful. We are planning to stay for at least 1 minute. You can stay longer if you need. As I told in the beginning of the session, this is a very beginner level. So you can try to avoid this pose if it's too much. Again, cat camel. Left leg is open. Opening the leg 3 to 5 times clockwise, anti-clockwise. Preparing ourselves for the pigeon. Beautiful people. You can see I'm walking my back leg as much as need. The front shin is as much straight as possible, but it doesn't have to be like that. Pigeon pose, Kapotasana. A beautiful stretch for the entire hips, lower back, spine, psoas, everything. Try to stay there for at least a minute. Again, use blocks or a pillow. If your hips are too open, you can see that the hips, both of my hips are parallel and as low as possible to the ground. Go into the meditative state. Breathe. Beautiful. Inhale gently halfway head up. Move. You are going to move the leg back and we continue into sitting poses. Beautiful people. First asana we are going to do is Paschimottanasana, sitting forward bend. Correct your hip muscle. Try to sit on your sitting bones and exhale, flex forward. Every inhalation creating space and every exhalation enjoying the spaciousness. You are going to stay there at least for a minute. Paschim means west. That means outside. Every muscle and joints, ligaments, tendons of outside. For example, my calf muscles, my hamstrings, glutes, the entire spine, erector spinae, all the muscle groups, my deltoids, biceps, forearms are getting a beautiful stretch, and all the inside, the anterior part of our body gets a squeezing massage, including our internal organs. For 1 long minute, we are going to stay, breathe, and enjoy the process of meditation in the asana. Breathe, inhale, head up, exhale. You are going to do the counter pose by going to go for flat tabletop or inclined tabletop. You decide what is good for you. Bend your leg to the width of your mat. You see my fingers are pointing out and I'm going for a flat tabletop. If you like to go for an inclined tabletop, please do so. The most important point, this is a beautiful core work. Squeeze your glutes, navel in, applying the bandhas, opening our shoulders. Breathe. Drop the hips down. Once you have done 5 to 7 breathe, preparing ourselves for the Janu Shirasasana series. Try to bring the heel as up as possible to the inner thigh of the opposite leg, creating a 90-degree. Inhale, arms up, twist to the side where the leg is open, and exhale, flex forward. Remember, every inhalation creating space and every exhalation enjoying the spaciousness. Breathe. These are all in yoga poses. So enjoying the poses. Beautiful people. Janu Shirasasana, head to toe pose. Inhale, head up. Exhale. Keep the bent leg bent. We are going to go for the leg stretch, hamstring stretch. This is a very classical pose. Try to be as much straight in the sitting bones. Try to keep your back straight as much as possible. Try to avoid your back bending. If you have a possibility to bring your chin to the knee, please do so. Nothing is must. You can see that my elbows are pointing out. You can also drop your elbow if you can, if you need. That kind of gives a different kind of a stretch to your arms. The stretch on your hamstring remains in the same level. Beautiful. From there, you are going to continue on the other side, Janu Shirasasana. Beautiful. Bring the leg, bring it to the inner thigh. The other leg toes are pointing up. Twist to the side where the leg is open and exhale, flex forward. Breathe as long as possible and exhale as long as possible. Beautiful people, take your time to stay here. Inhale, feel the stretch in your hamstring. Inhale, halfway head up. Exhale, inhale, full way head up. Bend the leg for the hamstring stretch. It's kind of a modification of Crouchasana, I would call. You're staying in every pose at least for a minute now, because this is where we go into the in aspect of a pose. The more bigger the muscle, longer the stretch always helps. So this is why I call this for a beginner level, so that you can stay, go into the meditative state, enjoy the asana, and understand the need and necessity of why and what you are doing. Beautiful. Now stretch that leg out. We are going to go for oblique stretch. Catch the same side toe. You can see I'm putting my muscle on muscle and I'm trying to catch the toe of the using the other hand, opening our obliques. The more you use your hand to twist, you see I've changed my position of my hand. This is comfortable for me. You decide how much leg is open. You can hold the toes or not. The position of the free hand, that is not holding your toe. Everything is, you see, the full pose. We have to completely turn and look at the roof. Try to keep the knee bent and towards the floor. Beautiful. Inhale gently, coming up. We are going to do the opposite side. You see my toes are pointing up always in the correct anatomical position, and I'm trying to catch the toe using my opposite hand, and I'm trying to look under my armpit, and I use the free hand on the floor to correct me. And stay there for as long as possible. Enjoy the breathe in, breathe out, being there in the moment, being present. Yoga, the union. Breathe. Try to look as much as possible. Inhale, using that energy, come up and exhale. We are going to go for Ardha Marchendrasana twist of spinal twist. You can see you can hug your knees like this. You can push your knee against each other. Try to keep both sitting bones into the mat. Try to keep the spine straight. This is very basic Ardha Machendrasana of spinal twist. Beautiful people. If you, for example, I am keeping my leg knee hugging, you can also push it using your hand. Try to keep the spine as straight as possible, sitting bones on the mat. Send the head first, hands next, legs third, and go for the opposite side. Here, this side, I'm pushing my knee away from you just to show the other aspect. For 1 long minute, you can use that hand to catch of your body part, anything that helps you to go deeper. Staying there for 1 long breath. Try to keep the spine straight. Whenever you want to come down, first move your vision. Release the hands first and the leg next. Beautiful. We are going to go for Indian squat malasana. Try to keep the toes pointing forward. Lift your upper body up. Try to open your hips. Try to bring the hips in line with your legs. If you are going to keep it gently open out, it is also okay. But the correct anatomical position is toes pointing forward. And we are going to stay there for 1 long minute. A beautiful hip opening. Nothing beats this simple asana to open your hips and mind. If you cannot stay here, go on to your toes. If you cannot stay on your toes also, you can bring some block or something like that under your toes, or put a block under your glutes and gently sit. Release the hands just in front of your leg. You are going to go for a beautiful hamstring stretch. Your palms are as if stuck into the mat. Straighten your leg. Try to keep the palms as much as the mat and try to stretch the leg as much as possible. If you cannot stretch the leg any further, then go on to your fingers, release the hands, release the palms and go on to your fingers. Try to keep the head as low as possible. To use your head as a traction like a weight, and which will stretch your spine, because the spine is erector spinae muscles are very strong, so you need to stay there for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, but the blood pressure of the head will come down. So when you lift your head, you need to be very gentle. Maybe this today we are not going to lift, maybe we are going to drop our hips down back in malasana again. You can pause the video and stay there for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. It's very nice to stay longer in this pose. Now grab the opposite elbow and gently go side to side. Beautiful. Release the palms back, palms, fingers down, drop the hips down. One more time in Malasana, the Indian squat. From there, you are going to go for the relaxing pose. Gently move your hips, bring your right leg on top of your left thigh. Right hand goes from the inside, left leg, and interlocks your fingers on your shin. Push your hips down, back of your neck straight, and hug yourself for 1 long minute. Figure 4 stretch. Now release the hand from the center. Push your knee away from you to open your piriformis and hip flexors and all other muscle group. Remember, in the beginning we did this sitting. Now we are going to go for a twist. Drop the drop the wide part of the foot on the mat and go for a twist. I'm doing the opposite just for be in the camera. You can see that I changed my leg. If you didn't see, go with your side. Try to keep both shoulders on the mat, enjoying the twist in the lower back. Breathe. Beautiful. Gently coming up and the opposite side. First is figure 4 stretch. Next one is piriformis stretch. And the third one is twist. You're trying to do everything for a minute. Now the piriformis. And then the twist. Try to drop the vision to the opposite of your knees. Beautiful. Gently hug, bend both legs, hug yourself, push your spine into the mat for 5 to 7 times, and go on a fetal position on your favorite side. This is our Shavasana for the practice. And then we do something called headstand meditation. Don't worry too much, you see that it will be very easy. So enjoy your Shavasana first. Now, when you come up, if you have like a big, thick book or a yoga block, take it. So, we are going to use that yoga block as a measure, and we are going to keep it on top of your head so that it can press gently against your head. And we are going to close our eyes and meditate. If because we have a very high level of focus is needed to keep the book in place, our entire focus are inside of ourself or to a place. Pratyahara, we are trying to bring all our attention to keep this book in space, book or yoga block. But again, don't give too much importance on the, if it falls, it falls. So you lift it up, put it again, and continue with your meditation. You can chant a mantra in your heart, or watch your breathe, or keep the focus on the book. The gentle pressure of the book also presses our hypothalamus. This is exactly what happens when you do a headstand. Instead of your whole weight going onto this part, on this point, it is only few hundred grams from the book or from the yoga block. So from there, we can gradually develop into a headstand in silence for next few minutes. If you're opening your eyes, you can see me. You can see me. Try to keep the focus inside of you. Bringing our hands in front of our heart. Thank this physical body to have helped you with the practice. Thank each and every person in our life without whom we are not the person we are today.